Yeah, we have few more people. Let's do so we had done one round of introduction, but people who have not introduced themselves can just do that. Just share your name and ages of your children and which city are you from, so that we can just connect. Yeah, I see two. Yeah, hi. I was about to say it. I see two beautiful faces on the video. Please go ahead.
Hi. We have not introduced ourselves. Sorry, we were a little late.
No issues.
Myself, Akshay, and we are parents of a 11-year-old son, and we have two different nationalities. I'm brought up from Bangalore. She's from Germany, and she recently moved to India about last year, October. So we have an 11-year-old son who's going to school in Germany and now goes to school in India, and we are on the lookout for exploring, alternate methods, education, which is a little stress-free, and we are not firm believers of the mainstream, structure, syllabus, and we see the amount of stress that it's sort of, leading to on our child, and our primary purpose is to sort of explore and understand a little more in terms of educationists like you as to how education can be made curious and at the same time a pleasant and stress-free experience for children to learn and explore, right? So that's what we're looking for on this session.
Sure. Welcome. We also have Kishore Kumar and Vikas. You want to say hi to the group?
Yeah, hi. My name is Vikas. I have been associated with Aarohi for the last 6 months. They have a program called the Jagriti program, and I've taken that a couple of times. And then I've also visited the campus. I'm joining as an educator. I run schools in Delhi, and we have about 900 students in the schools. And I've been thoroughly impressed with what Aarohi is doing. I mean, that's the long and short of it. I mean, I've been looking at different alternative ideas because I think, I was a professional, so I came into this sector trying to sort of figure out what this whole thing is, and been looking at Steiner. I've been looking at a lot of the other models, and all of those models are very good. We use some Steiner in our school as well, and that's been really amazing. And I think I'm just blown away with Aarohi and what they're doing and what their thought process is. So I think right now my whole being is around, how the hell are they doing this, and can I learn from them, and can I bring some of these ideas so that the kids in my school, which is unfortunately a curriculum driven, but how can I make it more child driven? So I'm just hungry to learn more, and that's why I'm here.
Right. Okay. Kishore Kumar, would you like to say hello to the group?
Hi everyone. I too have an 11-year-old, and I think Danica and he summed it up for me.
Akshay.
Hi. So I think he summed it up pretty nicely. I'm also here to understand similar thoughts. So, yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So let me run through this small presentation kind of thing. And I gave a little background in my introduction as to where we started way back in 1998 is when we started, and 2008 is when we formed Aarohi. But anyways, let's come back to the present time. So before I start, I want to say that I have absolutely no issue with the curriculum-based education. We don't say that there is anything wrong with that. We say that's one way of education, and whoever likes it, great. If parents like it, great. But some parents do not like it, or rather want to look at other options. explore more child-based rather than more curriculum-based. So that's what I wanted to clarify. Also, in the same type that some children really enjoy and thrive in conventional education. I've seen it because I've been through that conventional education, and there were children around me who were like A+ or the 90+ ones who were thoroughly enjoying that education. I wasn't, for one. I was just an average child, you know. And the question is that the children who do not enjoy, which I would say would be a good 30, 40, 50%, I don't know what percentage, what about them? Do we push more education onto them, or the system onto them, more tuitions, more studies, more of the same thing? Or do we switch and say, oh no, we are on your side, so let's see what is it that you would like to do? Yeah. So what we have realized is that, yes, that there is one way to do is that, okay, everybody goes through the same education, and there's another way, which is according to us is very beautiful, is when the education fits the child, or is built around the child, or built on the child, or built by the child. Yeah. So that's exactly what we are here to talk about. And maybe towards the end, little bit of how Aarohi can play that role. But to talk about child-based education, I will walk you through Aarohi. So that's kind of hopefully sums up what, according to us, is child-based education by showing how we are doing it. Before I dive into how we are doing or what exactly we are doing, just a couple of parent videos just to kind of bring in two different perspectives. So first video I want to share is of a child who wasn't very much enjoying conventional school, came out of conventional, and then went back to conventional, but with a gap of 5 years. And let's watch what those 5 years did to him.
Hey, I'm Kanchan.
I'm Lalit. I'm Dwesh.
We joined Aarohi in 2015. Dwesha was there for around 5 years. And then after that, he did his 10th and 12th through NIOS. And now he's doing the BCA. He did his schooling, completed his 6th standard, and 7th standard we took him out and we got him in Aarohi. Reason being that he was very stressed out and there was a lot of pressure on him there. So we thought we wanted a place where he could be happy and he could explore his options and he could find himself basically. I am very thankful to Aarohi, which gave him a lot of exposure, basic life skills, and a lot of maturity to handle issues that even I've seen grown-ups struggle with.
I learned a lot in Aarohi. I learned about responsibilities of an adult. I learned how to develop skills, managing myself, and not being dependent on my parents. I learned how to explore my options. I learned how to study by myself. I learned how to do almost everything, and I learned how to control my emotions as well. I learned a lot of things from Aarohi, and one of them I can say that I have now most because of Aarohi is my confidence. My level of confidence before Aarohi was really terrible, but after joining it, I have become more of a confident person. I can speak my mind clearly without having to hold back or be scared or anxious about my own thoughts. So it's taking care of my physical, mental health, and it's been great.
Based on that, after Aarohi, he has taken up 10th and 12th of his own, did very well. Based on that, got the admission for graduation, his choice, whatever he wanted to. He is doing pretty well, and he is confident of achieving what he aimed.
Right. So that was Dwesha, who went back into the convention system to pursue the college life. So just wanted to show this to also show as an example that it is not that we are excluding the options that are available in the world, but the moment you talk about child-based education, every option is available in this world. So the abundance of opportunity and options just, goes kind of grows exponentially. Yeah. One more small video.
wanted a space like Aarohi is end of the day, Rainahi, end of the life. We want to do something which is unique in us. We want to excel in that. So that makes a lot of sense rather than confining childhood into 5-6 subjects alone. Maybe 10-15 years back it made sense, but now it doesn't make sense to me. I really want to find what is her thing, what is she good at, what is her skills. So I want her to explore her skills, get into more awareness about herself, and I wanted these things to happen to my child, and that's the reason I chose a space like Aarohi.
I don't want to go to a school, sit there, do something, be instructed and take away all the freedom that I have. In Aarohi, I can explore a lot of stuff. They suggest me a lot of stuff. I even try to deep dive in surfing. So that's what I like in Aarohi.
Right. So you would have started getting an idea by now. The whole idea is to work individually with each child around his or her passions, unique strengths, capabilities, whatever is igniting inside the child. So we don't come with any agenda. Our whole purpose is to help the child discover, develop whatever skills and areas the child wants to do, and then nurture whichever path the child wants to travel. So it's purely driven by the child. So I would share quick 5 aspects of what we do. There are many more, but these are the 5 main ones. The first one obviously is that the moment we work with a child, we think of a personalized learning plan. So that learning plan is based on what the child wants. And because it's based on the child, it's a very dynamic learning plan. It can change literally day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, because the child is growing. His or her choices are changing, evolving. Something the child is rejecting, many things the child is newly getting exposed to, hence wants to explore, and so on. So the whole idea is to create a personalized learning plan, which is primarily created by the child. So the child takes up ownership of himself or herself, takes the responsibility. And the parents and we all, when I say we all, not just the facilitator team, but the whole group helps the child, in creating this personalized learning plan. So we work as a whole community of children, parents, and a team of facilitators. Yeah, so that's the first thing that we do. Obviously, once we know, okay, so here's one example. When Mehuli came to, excuse me, about a year and a half back to us, she was actually kind of thumbed down by the system because she didn't like reading and writing. She wasn't good at it in the eyes of the schooling system. And so she was put down, bullied, troubled by kind of everybody out there, weighed down a lot by the expectations of the whole thing. So when she came here, she said, I don't know what I want to do. We said, okay, what would you like to do if you don't know what you like to do? So she said, okay, I may like to paint. So that's where she started. And so we initially built her whole planning was around painting, not painting as in doing painting, but painting large surfaces like floors and walls. And that's why this picture. And then slowly she has now evolved. She has obviously added many more interest and explorations. She's now 14 and she's exploring a whole lot of different things in her life right now, right? The second thing that we do is once we know what the child is wanting to do, we try to bring in a lot of explorations, lots of projects, lots of resource people. And again, when I say we doesn't mean only the facilitator team, but the whole community, right? Including the child himself. In fact, the child has the biggest ownership of what resources I will explore, what kind of projects will I do, so the child decides and we support or we can bring in. One such example that I would bring in is of Mishti. When she was 9.5, she said, I like writing. We said, okay. So we started something called as a daily writers group, where a prompt will be put up and whoever is part of that group will write on that group and share. the important difference was that there would be no comments on what you write. Not even a thumbs up allowed. No emojis, nothing allowed. You just write every single day, 365 days a year. So Mishti has been now, 3.5, 4 years, and she has been writing every single day. So much so that the book that you see in her hand is actually a book she published in February this year, which is a compilation of 365 writings of 2024. So that's the kind of energy they put in things that they like doing. And even no feedback, nothing is really, really required. They have so much energy to explore, read, find, and so on and so forth. The third thing that we do is we bring in a lot of real life experiences. So the whole idea is not that the children have to do things in Aarohi. In fact, the whole idea is how much you can do in the real world, the real stuff. Because what we have observed is children like doing real stuff in the sense which can be of use, right? Which is of immediate application, which is out there in the world where they need to interact with different people. So one such example is that every year Aarohi's accounts, the Aarohi is a charitable trust, so the whole accounts are handled by one child, and every year the accountant changes. So here is Advay, who when he was 10 years old, he took up the accounts, and when you take up the accounts responsibility, you take up everything, all the entries, managing the books, creating balance sheet and profit loss at the end of the year, submitting into the chartered accountant. So the whole stuff, which possibly any other place of an experienced BCom, MCom would be doing, a 10-year-old does it right here. Obviously, there is guidance. And the idea is not that people like Advay should take that up in future. No. 1 year experience of like being a job is itself beautiful enough for them to understand what real work is and they enjoy it. That's the best part. The fourth thing that we do is we focus a lot on self. That's one of the big things. We personally feel that the curriculum somehow isn't about the person. It's about something else, maths and geography and history and all of that. Nothing wrong with those subjects, just that it's not about me. Where does me go in that whole thing? So we do a lot of emphasis on me, which is my emotions, my thoughts, okay, my relationships, my safety, everything. And most importantly, me leading myself. So leadership is very important. Here we are not talking about leading others. We are primarily talking about leading myself, right? Just again, as a very small example of how we do this is just one of the thousands of processes that we do. This one is a daily thing where every day at the end of the day, each one of us shares what we call as a hooray, nore, sore. If we can say a hooray to somebody who did something which we liked or connected with, which we want to say thank you to somebody, or we can say a nore to somebody who upset us or we were troubled emotionally by it, or we can say sorry to somebody whom we think we have messed up with. So this little connection every single day with my own emotions as well as with the people around me is itself beautiful, how I start connecting with myself. Yeah, that was just one example. Finally, the fifth thing that we do is we offer what we call as a passion to profession journey, which is typically for teenagers who would prefer to not necessarily go through a college routine, but actually go through a doing routine where you go and do work. In fact, I want to give an example rather than the example I took here. I want to give an example of a call that happened yesterday. There was this girl, 18-year-old, and she was talking about, uncle, with her parents, and there were other people also in that call. She was saying, I want to, I've seen this so-called business school. I want to go there. What do you think? I said, okay, so what do you want to do? You want to learn business or you want to do business? And then she was silent for some time. And then she said, I want to do business. I said, then do business. If you want to learn business, you can go to colleges. They will teach you business. That's fine. But if you want to do business, you can do it right away. Okay, I think you are ready for it. Okay, and that's the best way to learn. You can start doing business. You can do it alone. You can do it others. You can join a business which is already up and running. However, So that's the essence of passion to profession, where you actually learn by doing work with actual clients, with internships, with lots of skill building through live projects and stuff like that. So we have had so many teenagers who are no more teenagers. They've turned into adults and gone ahead and start working in their professional field, and they don't have degrees. And the best part is today's world is more than keen, more very, very enthused about these kind of youth who bring in a very, very strong approach towards their self-driven learning. They are, as I said, leader for themselves. And this kind of, I would say, crop of people is something that the world loves. The professional, the business world, the corporate world is loving they want to give them work. They want to even absorb them if they were looking for jobs and so on and so forth. Right. Okay. Finally, not among the 5 points, but we also, if the child is working with us, we work very closely with the parents. Even if the child is not working with us, we work very closely with parents if you choose to work with us. Right. So we are very, very parent centric, because we think that the biggest role in a child's life is played by the parent, and hence, the parent is very closely involved. Parents learn, we learn from parents, parents learn from us. But the most important thing is all the children learn from the different parents who are part of Aarohi. So that's how the community is formed. So the child isn't just being, you can say facilitated or mentored by, let's say, few facilitators and other peers, but also a whole lot of parents. So it becomes a large community. So we are not a school, we are a community where families work together, not just for their child, but for all the children who are part of the community. So that's the beautiful part, the closeness of all of us working together for each other. And not just children, we learn a lot. I have learned so many things from so many children and so many parents and so on. So that's to us is a kind of a model of education, which is community-based, which is child-based, and which isn't bound by anything, but bound, or rather led by the child's own energies, own strengths and things. So that's a little about what we do. Very quickly, what we offer. As of now, primarily we offer 3 things. The first thing is that the child can join Aarohi at campus, which is typically children who are a little older, because it's a residential campus. It's although parents there are parents who shift close by, so then younger children can also come. But typically, if a child has to stay with us, then typically 8, 9 plus is what we say, and minimum is 1 year. Though most children will end up staying more. Parents also come and live at the campus whenever they feel like. It's just like a second home for the whole family. So it's like an open space, parents coming in, children coming in. You come when you want, you go when you want. It's not like a schedule. There is a schedule, but you can plan your own. As I said, the personalized plan can be, I will do this at home and then do this here and so on. It's a lot of flexibility, because finally the child makes his or her own plan. And just as a reminder, as you grow older, you can either go back to a college. Again, you can see Radhika on the left, who is now in college, who was many years with Aarohi and then gave 10th, 12th and went to college. Or you can continue your professional journey by doing work, which is on the right. You see Skanda with his mom, who's also a professional, who has not given any 10th, 12th. So that both the choices are available. We also do a program called Jagriti, which is a short program, but a very intense program. Vikas was talking about that program that we have just finished one batch last week. And so this is one program that we have been offering since 2002. So we've done we have done 64 batches of Jagriti. So that's something that can really, it's like a game changer. It makes you understand the child in a completely different way. The other thing that we do is we offer support for families who either the children are small and hence the children can't be at the campus, or who right now don't want the children to be at Aarohi campus. That's absolutely fine. We don't want every child to come here, because we think home is the most beautiful campus that you can have for the child. So if you are wanting to do learning with the child, whether the child is going to a school or whether the child is homeschooled, unschooled, open learning, whatever. So this is an ongoing program for parents, but it's only for parents. This is online. We don't work with children. This is online for parents. and in turn you work with children. So that's what is the Aarohi Deep program. So these are the three things primarily that we offer. I would just take a minute also to run through this a list of what we don't do, just to clarify that. We don't focus on any conventional subjects. As we said, we work on personalized learning plan. We don't prepare children for any exams. Children prepare themselves, and wherever they need so-called tutorial support, they find a tutor on their own. Now, we don't do any tutoring. We don't provide certification. All our children make their own portfolios on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, and as teenagers, then they start becoming what we call as work certified, because they start doing work for the world. There is no spoon feeding, there are no classes, there are no classroom, there is no teaching. It's kind of an integrated learning where the child can literally learn in any which way, by doing, by exploring, by finding resources, by finding teachers, mentors. The whole world is our resource. Somebody come from Australia can guide a child who wants to learn something. So it's not limited by any geography or any other limitation. Similarly, children travel. They travel a lot. They travel wherever they find learning for them, right? Similarly, we don't differentiate between special children and non-special children. To us, all children are special. All children have strengths, and we're going to work with the child's strength. For us, there is no concept of learning difficulty, learning disability, and all of that. That is to us curriculum-based system concepts. Those concepts don't exist in our world. In our world, they are just children, or rather, not even children. We say they are learners, and they like to learn what they like to learn. So it's as simple as that. Finally, we don't work through any disciplining. We don't create a structure, but each child creates his or her own structure, and we support that. And also the child plays a huge role in the superstructure, as in how the whole Aarohi works. The child starts getting involved. So it's a democratic setup where everybody has a say in how the whole thing works. So that's kind of a quick overview of Aarohi. Not that all child-based education has to be like the way we do it, but that's, kind of gives you an idea of what we do. Yeah, let me pause here. I took almost 30 minutes actually. Right. So the person is asking, can we do this while kids attend? Yeah. If you're asking for the Aarohi Deep program, yeah. The child could be going to school, but you can still work with the child and do a lot of things with the child. Absolutely, you can be part of that. So if that is your question. Yeah, let me take a pause, and you have any questions, thoughts, anything you would like to discuss more? We can spend about 25 minutes on that. Yeah, I forgot to mention one thing, that if at any time you are interested in exploring Aarohi for your child, then you can come and stay here for a week and experience Aarohi. So that's very, very important for us, that you come and stay with us. You see how this place is, you see how we all are, how you vibe with us or how we vibe with you. And then you decide. So you don't decide that, I want to be part of Aarohi. It's mandatory to come and spend a week as a family, so that more than the child, the parents understand how this whole place works.
I have
a
question. I don't know if I perhaps did not hear, perhaps you already told that the children will be at the campus for the whole week normally, or how does that work?
Yeah, so the whole thing works based on how you want to make it work, rather than we wanting to make it work. So, but since we are, let's say there's a child from Bangalore. Are you in Bangalore? Are you Bangalore based? Okay, so if you are Bangalore based, then for the child to come daily is not feasible, because it's 60 kilometers. So Bangalore children typically come on Monday, go back on Friday. Right? And you can come any number of times. You can stay here whole week, part week, half day, one day, however you want to, whenever you want to come. we love parents coming to the campus because that's like another learner, another doer, another energy coming into our space. So typically they will come on Monday, go back on Friday. Again, any week you don't want to come, as in the child doesn't want to come, that's absolutely fine. The child wants to not come for 3-4 weeks. The child will have a plan. The child will be connected to everybody and sharing, this is my plan, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm traveling, or this is what I want to get involved into. So it's all driven by the plan. The child and his or her plan is what is important. Aarohi is just a space where that's another thing that they would like to come here, because then they make their own whatever groups and peers, and they want to do a lot of things together and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's all. But there are parents who have shifted very close by so that the child can come in the morning, go back in the evening. So even that is fine. So again, it depends on how the family wants to do it, and there are children who are coming from faraway cities who don't go back every weekend, but who go back after every 8 or 9 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. So we have a 2-week break home week after 8 to 9 to 10 weeks.
And you said the parents can also come, and are the parents then expected to join and attend the day, or is it possible if the parents stay there that they can work there? Because we all have jobs and all.
Yeah. I mean, you can do a little bit of that, and you can do a little bit. So what I would suggest is this question is very, very open. I'm not saying you cannot come and do your work here. You can do that. In fact, that itself has a rub off on others who would be curious to know what are you doing and so on. So it's not like that. That is not. But I would say come for a week, stay for a week. Then all of these questions you will have to find your own answers.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So because when you will be coming, you yourself will be attracted. Oh, I also want to do that, and somebody's flying kites. I want to fly kites.
Yeah.
And somebody is digging and making something out of a swimming pool. I also want to know how to make a swimming pool. Right. So many different things are happening.
Yes.
So you will be tempted. Plus, if on a regular basis, if once in a while you're coming and you are also a little bit doing your work, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, more thoughts, more questions.
I have one question, right? So the concept what you have is a fairly bold, unconventional approach towards education, right? I mean, so how do we break these sort of perceived rigid societal approach towards education that has been, right? So there is a certain sense of rush and urgency within our education methods. Now nobody understands. Nobody is sent to Mars. Nobody is going to Jupiter. Nobody is. I mean, the core of the human problems remain the same, right?
Right.
Right. So, right. We need to produce food. We need to, acclimatize towards weather conditions, and essentially, we need to ensure that the environment, remains the same, so that generations. And so, this is the crux of it, and
and we need to enjoy ourselves.
Yes.
That's the big one.
Responsibly, yeah. So while the crux of the human issues, let's say for the last 150 years, or even from the advent of industrial revolution, has been about centric towards human needs, or let's say the last decades might have been a little bit more towards capitalistic needs or whatever, which we've been a little negligent towards environment and pollution. But largely the education concepts and the especially in India, the convent standards what we followed, right, has always been the sense to create a certain sense of urgency to fulfill some sort of a skill bank to solve issues, right? Not even skill bank, it's some knowledge bank as we speak, right? Because we are somehow in India especially, we have a lot of emphasis on knowledge and not really on skills, because you look at countries, other economies, they do train on skills and knowledge, right? So I mean, knowledge goes a little bit more in terms of research and stuff. So generally, given this sort of a mundane traditional structure what we've evolved, especially, right? Like there is a sense that, okay, you're in class 7 now, you have to prepare to your boards, and then you'll have to do this, and then if you're not there, you don't get this. So there is this rush and, survival race, right, that we're chasing behind anything that we are trying to solve as education. So how do we sort of, break this conventional methods and unlearn ourselves, and what is that essentially unlearning that we have to do to fit into that entire framework what you're put in place, right? Yeah.
Well, you, I think, answered your own question in a way. When you're saying we have to unlearn, yeah, that's the whole thing. How?
Yeah.
Well, I think the best person to make that how answer is the child. You see, we are not child-based. Even in our parenting, even in our, we are typically expectations, benchmarks, as you said, blah, 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 based. Now, the moment we shift to the child and say, okay, what is this child wanting, needing? How is he thinking, feeling, driving? Then the unlearning starts. Then we realize, oh, we have a unique being, just like between you two, Dani and Akshay, you two are unique beings, very different, I'm very sure. But part of the game is to understand each other, how each other's needs are, and then. But now suddenly, once we grow adults, we kind of let go of a lot of other societal things, and we start saying, what are your needs, and that is more important. Right?
Right.
Let's fulfill each other's needs,
Right.
or wants or desires. So, in the same way, if we can become child based in our thinking, forget Aarohi and all, but if in our approach we can become child based, or rather become child centric, and see, let the child drive, then the unlearning happens from the child. Because you want to add something.
Yeah, I think so as an educator, I was in the US, sort of computer programmer, all of that stuff, right? And so came back and then wanted to basically kind of figure out how to do this education right. So I've been looking at Steiner, Montessori, Krishnamurti, visited a huge number of schools, etc. And I think I can very much say that sort of, I think the analogy I would use is that we are in the computer age, or in fact now the AI age, and at least in India, it's so bad in terms of the curriculum driven education that they're still using not even calculators but slide rules. It's almost as though computers were not invented. I mean, and I don't want to go into the reason why it's that bad, because that's a larger conversation. But all I'm trying to say is that I think compared to, I think you guys would probably know Germany, I know the US. I mean, those are better in terms of being on the spectrum more child-based. India is particularly terrible. I'm sorry, other people, as Ratnesh, he was nicer about it, but I think it's a terrible, terrible system that we have, where it does not. I mean, the knowledge-based system was probably good. It was in England about 100 years ago, with the public school system. It's gone from there. We are holding on tight to it. So I think it's a nonsense. Sorry, I mean, I'm going to be a bit more blunt. I am a part of that system, unfortunately, because of various reasons. But I'm trying to move away from it within the constraints that I have. So I think that for me, I think it's kind of a no-brainer to be in a child-based system, and to be sort of saying that, oh, because everyone else uses a slide rule or calculator, and therefore that's probably the right thing to do. I mean, I guess that's the challenge of unlearning, which is because everyone else is doing it, therefore this must be the right thing to do. It's almost like saying the earth was flat at some point, or believed to be flat, and therefore do you have to believe that the earth is flat? So I think I'll just say that. And I think my experience with Aarohi is that I thought I was child-based in terms of the way we were thinking. I think they just kind of blown me away. And sort of, if a good Montessori is here, if the curriculum system is here, Montessori here, Aarohi is here. It's like really pushing the limits. So I think it's really about, I think I think I would highly recommend spending a week on campus and seeing how they've designed it. It's incredible.
Just a quick thought on that. The child's learning abilities keep changing, right? So they come, what they were interested 2 years back is something different. So this also, I mean, of course, there is the nurture and nature influences, right? Both. So we see the things keep changing. What was last year is different to this year. So how do we tap into the child's mind eventually to understand that where, or rather, let's give the whole nurture logic to it as to how do you sort of orient a child's or rather nurture its interest over a certain period, so there is some sort of a consistent pattern, because or rather, how do you approach this, because it's a constant process to keep changing your interests, right? So how do we sort of yeah.
So in a child-based, if you apply a child-based approach, you don't have to think about this at all. This is no-brainer, because, or rather, not even required to think, because even as adult, my choices keep changing, my needs keep changing. Then the world is not worried around me. They allow me to change my things, change my jobs, change my domains, change my cities, change my countries, right, freely. So why shouldn't it be led to the child to decide what is it that I'm interested in today and what is it? So let the child keep changing. You see the if you allow me to give you an analogy, I think the issue is that we have thought that there is okay. So the analogy is that there is a container and there is a content. So the child is the container and what is inside is the content, right? In the sense, let's say, so somewhere people have decided that if we focus on the contents are the subjects or the curriculum, then the container will do well. But to be, anything can be the content. If you work on the container, if you empower the child, if you make the child stronger, not if we make, if we give the space for the child to become stronger by doing things that he likes. So the contents of the container will keep changing. The idea is to make the container strong, because the container is the constant, right? The contents will keep changing. Today is 25 or she's 30, she wants to do one thing. Tomorrow she'll be 30, 45, 50, wants to do something else. So the contents will keep changing. So when we realize this difference, so in a child-based, we are focusing on the container, not on the contents. The contents is for the child to focus on, to build on. I don't know if this analogy helps you. So absolutely, this is not at all an issue. In fact, it's so much fun when people keep changing. When I use the word people for children, because I don't want to use the word children. When they keep changing their things from this to that and they keep coming back, and I say, you're just like a mirror. You're only showing me myself. I also keep changing. Today I want to do this. Tomorrow I leave that and start something else, and so on. So I think it's just so beautiful, and this world is so beautiful. The world is so abundant of choices. In fact, it would be cruel to say, no, only do these many things, or be consistent in one thing. I would say, no, go ahead, enjoy this world, do 100 things if you feel like. Right? And in my two children, if you allow me to further elaborate on this, I have two children. My daughter is the multi kind, who is at any point of time doing even multiple professions, multiple things, and she's very comfortable with doing multiple things. But my son is completely the opposite, very, very single-minded, just wants to work on one thing and go real deep in it, no distractions at all. So they're just two individuals, both very, very young, 20 and 26, and they're very, very different in the way they look at their life. So I think it's again up to each child. Yeah. More thoughts, more questions, more people are there in the call. Please feel free to jump in, ask your questions.
You named a young woman who went back so that she can finish her college and all that. What experience do you have with the learners who go back to the conventional system? Is that kind of a problem for them, or?
Not at all, not at all. Absolutely no issue at all.
Oh.
In fact, there have been children who have just studied for about 7 to 8 months, who have never gone to school, studied for 7, 8 months and cleared their 10th, and so on. So they can be so comfortable because they're so self-driven by that time that when they decide that they want to give 10th or 12th or any other examination or prepare for something, they just go ahead and They just do it because it's for them. It's something that needs to be done, and that needs to be done. As simple as.
Okay.
If children want to write 10th exams, are you going to write the exams or we have to write the exams? Sir?
Yeah, just one moment. Right. Sorry, there's some issue with my laptop, so I had to switch on to my phone. Right. So you were saying, sorry, what was your question? Can you repeat that?
Like if my children want to write 10th exams, like after joining your school, also I'm allowed to write the I want to written the exam 10th.
Sure.
So you only written the exams, or shall we have to write the exams like open school?
The child has to write the exams.
No, not like that exactly. Like, are you going to conduct the exams, or we have to enroll in another way? Actually,
Yeah, you will have to look for any of the open boards. So there are many options depending on which state are you from and so on. NIOS is one option, which I know. If you are familiar with NIOS, that is anyway available to all Indian. That's a central government initiative. So that all children, most of our children who have given 10, 12 have gone through NIOS. So some children also at a particular stage go back to school so that then they can go through CBSE or ICSE. Some government state boards also allow private candidates, and some of the international boards like Cambridge and IB allow international private candidates. So there's a lot of options that depending on what the child wants to pursue and why the question is not about the exam. I think we are according to me, we are asking the wrong question. We should be asking the question, why do I need to give any exam? And if that exam fits in with my needs, then I give that. I'll give you an example. There's this boy, Imad, who was, when I think he was 17. Till 17, he wasn't giving any exams, no, nothing. He was just enjoying doing lots of different things. But at 17, somewhere he decided that he wants to become a pilot. Now, because of becoming a pilot in India, to get into a pilot training, you have to have a 10th and a 12th. And he realized that, okay, now if I have to do this, I have to do that, as in give 10th and 12th. So he went ahead and gave 10th and 12th. So there is a rationale then behind it. He is also one of those who prepared for about 8 to 9 or 10 months, did take help of 1 or 2 tutors and finished off his 10th. And then within a year, finished off his 12th also through NIOS. So that's the but when it's driven by them, then it's very, very simple. We don't have to get involved much. They only take up because they want to do it. The problem happens when we want them to do something and they don't want to do it, then it's a drag and a conflict, and yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Iman.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Sure.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So
Yes.
do you have a program or a way wherein because we stay far away,
Sure.
we can visit in between, but he cannot stay. He's 8 years of age. So
Yeah, also
do you have
because
a-
he's 8 years. Yes.
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 So do you have a program wherein you support families like us
Yeah,
from
that's the Aarohi Deep program I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. And but what I would suggest, if you kind of little bit like what we do, then don't start with the Aarohi Deep program. I would like you to start with the Jagrati program. That's a shorter program. Okay. First of all, that will totally, I say it's a total game changer. It will totally, Vikas is smiling for that. It will totally change the way you, first of all, you think of yourself as a parent. Forget the child for a minute. First, we need to understand ourselves as a parent, not otherwise. But what is me as a parent, or what is me as an educator, or whatever role you play. And that's a complete what Jagrati will do is it will not say what you are doing is wrong or right, because what you are doing is absolutely right. There is no wrong in that, but it will add another let's say 50 windows into how you
Yeah.
can look at the child and
Mhm.
yourself.
Right.
Now that changes a whole lot of things. And if you then think that, okay, yeah, I now I have a much wider view of how I can work with the child. Now I want a community to help me implement this with my child. Then you come
Mhm.
into the deep program. That
Okay.
is not to say you cannot join the deep program without doing Jagriti. I'm not trying to I'm only recommending that you do Jagriti first and then do the deep program.
Right.
But there are these two. Deep is an ongoing program, so you can join at any point of time. Jagriti
Right.
is a batch-based program. It has 11 sessions,
Mhm.
2 sessions in a week. They are online sessions, and the next batch starts in November. So we do 3 batches in a year. So that is first to open ourselves up to this huge array of perspectives and paradigms, and
Mhm.
then we start, working with the child in so many different ways.
Okay. Thank you.
But in any case, I can share both the links with you. You can go through both the programs and you can see which one you would like to, if you like to, check out any of those.
Okay. So Jagriti starts in November, you say?
Right. And deep, you can
Okay.
join any point of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
send you
Right.
details of both.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah. And also, then the invitation to you also is, when you get time, come and stay with us for a week, just to experience how this whole thing works. Nothing to do with about you joining. You need not join anything, but it's just an experience of how child-based education is actually happening.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
because I can talk, I can talk as much as you want, but talking is nothing. It is when you
Mhm.
experience it, then you say, okay, this is so much joyous. This is so much power to the children. That is something which you have to experience, because talking will not make us see how it works.
Yeah.
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 Sorry.
Hi, I have one question. Sorry.
Sure,
No,
sure. Your good name, please.
My name is Dipankar.
Hi, Dipankar. Yeah.
Yes, my question is that when we decided to homeschool our son, the only
Hmm.
reason was that we felt that he has lost his curiosity and love for learning, and
Yeah.
becoming very stressed in two basic things which probably everyone will learn, which is
Yeah.
reading and writing. Probably he's
Yeah,
reading in
absolutely.
his own way,
Absolutely.
but not the class appropriate, and which probably he internalized. And writing, of course, his fine motor skills are not at that level, which the class expects him to be. Um, Now the our confusion is that we both have come from the traditional schooling system. Iram she's a doctor, she's a surgeon. I run my own company. I'm a founder and CEO of a company. But yeah, the question is that how do we ensure in this kind of thought process, how do we ensure the appropriateness at a particular age?
You don't.
Like,
You
yeah,
don't.
so yeah, so no,
Wait. You don't ensure. The child ensures. Only
yeah,
child
I
can be
know.
child appropriate. Let the child lead. Right. That's why
Yeah.
I'm pointing towards the Jagriti program. Let the child lead.
Mhm.
The child will automatically be age appropriate, need appropriate, desire appropriate, aspiration appropriate, ability appropriate, and so on. The child will will ask you, in many different ways, all kinds of things that he or she needs. Yeah, that's the magic in children. And I'm not talking based on some 5, 10, 20 children. I'm talking about at least about 15 to 20,000 children whom I have worked with. Yeah. And
Okay.
not even one child. I categorically say that not even one child I feel is not capable of leading self. We are not giving that space. If we give that space, they are amazing. Then our job becomes, Dipankar, to sit back and enjoy. watch them. Yes, we play a role. We'll continue to play the role. We'll always be there as guides, mentors, and so on for them, support for them. I'm not trying to belittle that role. In fact, the role only increases. But it becomes very interesting and enriching for us also. Then we are not running around tying up knots here and there. No. We are just enjoying the whole journey with them, doing things with them, engaging in various things with them.
Yeah, but at times, I mean, how much do we push? Do we not push them? Because
Yeah.
probably
So
discipline,
right.
structure.
Sorry. So this particular session, I can't answer that question. For that is where I will invite you to the Jagrati program. Okay.
Okay.
Because that's the program that takes you totally. First, it makes you see yourself in a totally different way as a parent. I'm not saying as Dipankar, but as a parent, it makes you see yourself in many different ways. Windows which you wouldn't have opened at all. You wouldn't even know that they exist, right? That's the thing. Once you start seeing yourself as a parent and the child as an individual in so many different ways, then you know I have choices. One day I can give him full lecture, another day I can do it very differently. So the lecture part isn't gone. We can give them lecture. Yes, that's one option, but that doesn't mean that's the only option that we have. Yes, please. The day you feel like giving lecture, do that. But the day you feel like taking 10 other paradigm or perspectives, try whichever you feel like doing.
Okay. Got it.
I have a question. Child can join any time in a year, like
Yeah. Yes. Family, child doesn't join, family joins, and family can join any time of the year. Yeah, we don't work in that sense. We have nothing in common with schools except that we also have children with us. Other than that, there's nothing in common. There is no such thing like joining date or joining anything. Nothing. You can join any point of time, but you have to have visited once, stayed with us minimum for a 1 week, experience this, only then you can join. That's one mandatory requirement, because we feel that you need to like the place, connect with the whole process and the people. Everything has to happen, then it makes sense.
is there any exams for
Yeah,
joining?
I think Akshay, you wanted to ask. Yeah, sorry,
like any exams for joining?
for joining what? Joining Aarohi?
Yes.
No. We don't believe in exams. We believe that every day should be an exam. And the exam comes by the fact that I am doing stuff and I will fail. I will not succeed straight away, right?
Yes.
I will fail. So just like a toddler or not even a toddler, an infant who's learning how to walk, or a toddler who is learning how to cycle or catch a ball, for him catching a ball is an exam. He keeps dropping it till he figures out the way to catch it securely, right? So every task in a way for a child is an exam, and life is the most beautiful exam that we give every single day. So every single day is an exam, but there's no joining, there's no criteria for anybody to join. Anybody can join.
Yeah, thank you. Because I don't believe in the exams.
Yeah.
Entrance exams actually, because
Yes.
child capabilities are different and exams are different, so we can't judge child by writing the exam.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to quickly get a little bit in terms of the location you've chosen. So, was there any background, anything that has inspired for you? I think it's towards the Denkani Kotai side, which is a very, serene place. I think a lot of people around we know.
Oh, that was a beautiful providence. One of the child's grandfather, he had land here and he donated to the trust. So we live on gifted land. That itself lifts us 1 inch above the ground. So everything here is gifted, donated by crowd. So the whole Aarohi has come into its form by blessings of so many people. Started with Deb uncle, that was his name, Devashish uncle, who donated this land. He's no more in this world, but he's there in our hearts.
So that's the primary reason.
Yes, that's the primary reason. Such a blessing. How can we say no to it?
And I just thought there was a certain, non-urban, urbanized approach.
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to be out of, yes. So we wanted to be out of Bangalore. We wanted to, more than out of urban, we wanted to live together. The living part was important. This going, coming kind of thing is not something which we gave a lot of, we have all been through it, but this living together, like a group, like a community where all of us are equal, all of us live in the same building, there's no separate anything for anybody, all of us clean the toilets, all of us eat together, all of us play sports together, everything we do together. So this being together, doing things together was so beautiful for us. So we wanted to create a space like that. And we thought, obviously we can't buy land in Bangalore, that's too costly. So we just wrote a note saying that, hey, we are looking for land outside. And Dev uncle says, what you are looking for? We already have a land. So that was the beginning and the end of the search.
And how do you sort of integrate to the larger rural ecosystem? And how do you sort of,
Please come over. You will get the integration. We don't need to integrate. We are almost all the time out there interacting with anybody and everybody, not just the rural system, rural, urban, cities, countries. We travel a lot. Every single week, one day is kept for traveling. So every Friday we are out somewhere doing something, meeting some people. They could be anywhere. And then every once in a while we travel to other cities. We travel a lot. We think the whole world is ours. Right? We keep telling every single child, you are the center of the universe. Now go ahead, make the best of the whole universe, which is yours. Now, you have to do it. Right? Nobody else is gonna do it for you.
Right.
Okay, so we are already at 6:11. Sorry, we keep this 5 to 6 normally. And we do this every Saturday. So 2-3 options. One is if you are wanting to come and stay with us. I hope all of you are connected with the Aarohi WhatsApp. So I can send you the link and you can come in and stay with us, register and stay with us. If you are wanting to have if you want to just attend more of these Saturday meetups, just keep coming every Saturday. There are no cost to it. We are here 5 to 6 every Saturday. If you want a specific one-to-one, more specific to your child and your needs, and you're more comfortable wanting a one-to-one, then again, let us know on WhatsApp. We will connect with you and see how we can support you. And and any other question, any other query, please feel free to connect with us on WhatsApp. I'll just type the WhatsApp number just in case you are not connected with us on WhatsApp on that. And right. So otherwise, thank you for joining us today. And we hope to be connected and see how we all can work together. Yeah, I'm just posting. Oops, where did that go? Okay. Right, I posted the WhatsApp number just in case you don't have that. You can connect with the Aarohi, and we can take it forward. Some of you had come, you didn't really speak much in today's call, but if you have any questions, any thoughts, Kishore, Rakesh, there's also Maria, Nancy. So please feel free to connect, and we'll see. And also join us again next Saturday if you want to have. If you attended the first 20 minutes of orientation and you want to just directly jump into discussion, you can even log in at 5:30ish. That's when we start the discussion. So all those options are available. Yeah. So thank you again for joining us, and let's stay connected.
Sure.
Bye-bye. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Really great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.